Are you Ten Hag in or Ten Hag out as a Manchester United fan? And why? What led you to shape your opinion where you stand with a manager today? That is exactly what we're going to talk about and discuss in this heated fan debate video. We present you two sides of a story, two sides of the argument, and pay attention because there's some really juicy, important details that could change your mind where you stand today. Was Ole Gunnar Solskjear right when he spilled the beans and revealed the structure, what he felt as a Manchester United regarding the recruitment structure, no backing, and all that jazz? Now, this is exactly what we learned by Ole and what Ten Hag is going through at the moment. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to this video, hit that thumbs up, because here we go. Are you ready?
And people are saying Eric Ten Hag going to be here next season. He's not going to be here next season. Believe me, he's gone. He's not going to be here.
In terms of
he's not in their plan.
In terms of the backroom staff, Tano, I feel like we did them a disservice because I don't feel like we hire the right team to surround them with coaches that would provide the proper defense for a pressing style, the proper attack, the proper set pieces.
This is why I'm saying, Mark, it's not a case of whether people want Eric Ten Hag in or not. I just think the project INEOS are going to do, they're going to make a clean cut of everything and go, this is how we move forward. You're going to dance to our tune. Any dissent and you're gone. We're not tolerating it. If you don't like it, put it, like Ollie said, if you don't want to play, put your hand up.
100%.
There's the door, get out. You're
gone. Welcome, Mick. Big up to you, boss man. How are you doing this morning? Haven't seen you in a while. We haven't been able to do our M&M streams together, but you're on my channel today.
It's fine.
Thank you.
Snakes on a Plane. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. It's like Manchester United right now.
Samuel L. Jackson, isn't it?
Guys, just in reference to what Ollie said yesterday, when he, Peter, you messaged me earlier, when he actually, at the end of his career, when he actually went to the dressing room and say, put your hand up, whoever wants to play for me or play for the badge. And there was a handful of people that played. Everyone was down to him. Remember that season? It was the most horrid season ever, you know? And just put yourself back in an article with Jose Mourinho back in December that he said the snakes are still here. Now, he tried to get rid of certain players that the club said no to, right? And those players still here. We're talking about Martial, Rashford, Shaw, and Scott McTominay. No, it was kind of it was kind of a little bit of a revealing what he said yesterday. Mark and you and me, we had a little bit of disagreement over the Telegram chat, but it was clear and evidential. If you went over that interview or sitting yesterday when he had at the podcast, Ole is such a nice, pleasant guy, a humble guy. He would never, call anyone out. He's Mr. Nice Guy, polite. But in a way, this was a proper pop at the current establishment, the way it's been recruited, the player power, everything was there, right? He said, when you took a job contract, you were hoping that, you can sort of be the one that takes United back to the top again. But they're the ones telling me how to play, be patient, you will get we will recruit. And he also talked about the scouting, right? Numerous of scouting reports just sitting on a pile. And the damning was also when he said he recommended Erling Haaland, Declan Rice, and all that stuff. And the club just ignored the thingies. So it's all about shirt sellers at the end of the day. It's all about seeing that current establishment are still there until Omar Barada and Ashworth and still are there. They're basically going over Ten Hag's head. The signing of Mason Mount was never his signing. It was something that was happened to be available. Same with Cristiano Ronaldo. We went and grabbed him, and without doing any proper analysis, hey, are you fit to play, right? So you can argue to the point that he also Ten Hag backed his corner regarding Anthony Dos Santos, right? To say, yeah, he's my guy, right? He did madness for me under Eredivisie. And his stats don't lie, but something has gone wrong with United. And something has gone wrong when you go back to tape when when everyone was just actually like, having a meltdown when he said, I'm not here to play the Ajax way, I'm here to play the United way. He's been told by above, you're not allowed to play this style. This is how you should play, right? By people
Yeah.
that don't understand football, right? So putting everything together, guys, this is my thought and my thought alone, right? He came in first season, and he did magic with what he inherited. But if you go back and look at any manager, Arteta, Klopp, everyone else, they had the opportunity to cleanse that deadwood squad. Arteta did it in 2 years. He got rid of what is his name? Shaka, Aubameyang, Lacazette, and all these Guendouzi, all these shit players started to play youth, and everyone was going like, "Why are you playing this youth, right? Why are you giving Odegaard? Why are you playing Saka, Martinelli?" Yeah.
These guys, Martinelli.
So he finished. He finished in 2 seasons. Finished eight, and people were calling his Arteta out. In his third season, guys, he started to introduce a little bit more experience. He recruited in who? Zinchenko. He recruited in what?
Thomas Partey.
Thomas Partey, who is basically a injured flop.
Injury-prone guy.
But
the Italian sent CDM was his name.
Yeah, and Declan Rice was this season that made a game
Saliba.
changer. And and what's his striker name right now?
Gabriel Jesus.
So he added on a little bit more experience. So basically, he had the opportunity to cleanse out the squad and actually stop playing the style that he wanted to play. Right? Last season, everyone was surprised. What the hell is going on with Arsenal? Because they were playing like rock and roll football, like, kill everyone in the first 20 minutes. Right? Now, if you look at what Ten Hag really wants to do, and this is his playing style, I'm telling you right now, and you can sort of evidentially look at his recruitment, what he wanted. He recruited in Onana because he wants to play a high line. He wants to play with center backs that are fast. So basically, he wants to park the whole team above the halfway line.
Yeah.
So play and press with 8 people on front. And then if the ball goes over the top, you will have fast fullbacks and fast center backs that can catch up.
100%.
So, having to say that, Plan A went to tits up in the summer. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, have you ever seen any other team having half of squad of your senior players been injured, and you have to all of a sudden adjust your playing style, what you really planned for? I mean, trust me, planning takes months to do, right? This is how we're going to play. This is the plan. And all of a sudden, you have to shuffle around and play personnel that are not really willing to do that for you, right? Marcus Rashford is not happy in this system. He's down tooling. You can clearly see his body language. Luke Shaw, injury prone. Malacia got out. Kobe Mainu got injured. Kobe Mainu came back after Christmas, by the way, and made a huge difference. Rasmus Højlund started to fire up after Christmas. So is that Ten Hag's fault all of a sudden? Or is it the medical department, or is the poor planning from the club?
I get what you're saying there, but you've also got to look at this. Yeah, when Eric Ten Hag took the job at United, he should have profiled every player that was on them books and looked at it and gone, can I play the way I want to play? Because he wants to play fast, intense football.
Yeah,
half of these players can't do that.
I'm telling you, I worked in many years. Yeah, I worked many years.
This is why we're getting injuries in training. Because it's overworking the players.
Just to let you know, that is not the manager's job, right? You have, analysis to do the persona profiling based on what the managers need. But his job, that is not his job. That is the job of Dan Ashcroft and the head of recruitment to do the profiling. The final hurdle comes down with the sporting director to say, what about the reference check? What about the personality check? Is it a cultural fit? Do you have the mental capacity? How about your injury record? The manager is never supposed to do that. The manager is there to assemble the squad and coach on daily basis. And by the way, coaches, you're managing coaches on the training.
I'm on about when he actually took the job.
Yeah,
when he actually accepted the job as Man United manager. He knew the player roster that was there.
Let me land, Peter. So, as a manager of a football club, you managing people below you, like the set piece coaches, the defense coaches, the goalkeeper coaches. You have, let's say, the assistant coaches as well. That is your job, right? Anything above is not your priority, like the strategical vision, the playing style, and that's what he said 2 weeks ago, Mark, when we did the presser, when he said that, when he asked the question, and he said Manchester United is the biggest club in the world, and it's almost impossible to do. It is impossible to do everything by yourself. So the guy's been drowning in a fucking shitstorm because you look who is sitting above and supporting him. Nobody. You have Darren Fletcher, no fucking CV. You have fucking, what's it called? John Murtaugh, that is outsourcing everything that he does, using consultants, using his brother-in-law as a lawyer, goes on a
Richard
fucking
Arnold.
holiday. Yeah, goes on a fucking holiday in the middle of transfer window, right? And then you see what Ollie said yesterday. The layers of approval is 4 different layers.
Yeah.
4 different layers. So you have the scouting, you have the manager who has a veto, you have John Murtaugh has a veto, and then the final say goes to Joel Glazer, right? Pause for a second. Then you go back to Omar Barada interview, how City used to operate. They used to sit down, Omar Barada, the head of recruitment, the coach, everyone sitting and talking about the transfer targets, looking at, we're not overpaying, looking at the mentality, looking at everything. And that is levels of difference. Now you go back to Eric Ten Hag, fuck, I got to do everything because these fuckers don't understand football, right?
100%.
So he said, John Murtaugh, I want Frankie de Jong. He's the key cog to how I want to play football. What did they do? They fucked up. They went down to a plane to Barcelona, spotted sitting having lunch with Frankie, both him and Arnold. Negotiating
three times,
3 times, negotiating the fee and everything. And 2 weeks left of the window, what happens? Plan B, revert to Casemiro. And Ten Hag has to change his whole playing style. So you understand how planning goes, because
of course,
the way you want to play.
The thing is, Mick, is this though, isn't it? Yeah, right. In any job, in any walk of life, you can't have everything your way. You have to adapt and bend. It's like me when I was a chef, when I went in different kitchens. Every layout will be different. I have to adapt to that layout. It's as simple as that.
No, but
the bottom line is this: the book stops with the manager, because you're the one putting the team out.
Let's say, what's your favorite?
That's the problem.
What's your favorite dish to cook?
Oof, all sorts, yeah. I mean, pastas, curries, things. It depends on where you work.
Okay.
I mean, when I was a chef, when I lived in London, I came back home to Chester, and I went back to London, and I purposely worked in kitchens on a freelance basis. So I wasn't, stationed in one building all the time. I was here, there, and everywhere. I've done that to see if I could adapt to things.
Okay.
And you'll be surprised that when you're in different environments, you have to adapt. And sometimes you can't adapt to the environment you're in.
Right.
You put your hands up and go, I can't do this job. I just can't adapt to it. And I think this is the situation Eric Ten Hag is in now. He's gone into a job and he can't adapt to it.
It's not about adapting, Peter. I hear what you're saying, but let me just put it in your situation as a 5-star Michelin chef, right? You work for a 5-star restaurant. I don't know the name of it. It's got a reputation, right? Your job is to put a world-class menu, right? A set menu. Yeah. So that's your job to plan, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so you go away and you tell your purchaser, whatever it's called in the industry, the sourcer, whatever you call it, right?
Yeah.
The restaurant man, I need these type of ingredients to make a successful crème brûlée or whatever, right? Just an example.
Yeah.
And the fucker turns back and doesn't give you what you want.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you have to fucking redo the whole fucking menu. Yeah. You want the best beef, Wagyu beef, and somebody gives you what? Some mutton or whatever.
Yeah.
Just analogy, just to give you an.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. But that's what you're saying is the standard. Things will never ever go the way you want them to go, but you maintain that standard. That's why you're in that job, is to maintain when things go wrong, that standard, that level. Eric Ten Hag is not doing it. That's
Yeah,
the
no. But the
difference.
thing is,
He's not doing it.
how are you gonna cook up a storm when you have what you heard Ollie said?
Nick,
You know,
listen,
four different of vetoes, right? Four
people
different of
go on.
layers
Eric Ten
deciding.
Hag's been going on. I haven't got I've
Can I
injured players,
finish?
this and that yet.
Can I
Look at
finish?
Ange at Spurs. Key
Yeah.
players missing. Classic example, what blew Eric Ten Hag away was Jurgen Klopp in the Carabao Cup final when he won that competition playing kids
Yeah, but
Yeah,
against the
those
man.
kids in
seasoned
his
team.
system for the last
No, but
9
what I
years
want to
speak like
say, if
different.
you let me finish, Peter, I would just want to land up so you can understand where I'm coming from. Like, I hear what you're saying, but if you're a
And you
head
just said
chef,
it, Nick.
I yeah,
Why did Liverpool win the Carabao
you're
Cup
not letting me to
final
speak.
in extra time? Now, can I just say this? Because
Yeah, you
it
can.
factors into what you just said. Why did Liverpool win the Carabao Cup final in extra time with kids on? Because they played to a system.
Yeah, but those kids
Because
grow up in our
Even
system.
though they're different players,
and
they're
how
not
long have
Salah, they're not
and
Nunes, they're not
okay,
Kulishevsky, they're
okay,
different players, but they
all right.
played to a system. That's what won them
Yeah,
that
but
game.
okay, Peter, stop there for a minute. How long have they been playing under Klopp system? 8-9 years, right? They had 8-9 years to
Not
adapt
at
to
pro
that
level,
system.
no.
No, but they had it 8, 9 years at the end of the
Eight,
day.
9 years.
Academy.
Whatever, however you train in the first team goes down to the academy. That is the style. So they had
Yeah,
basically eight,
exactly.
9 years to play that. How much time did Ten Hag have? 2 to implement. If you look
Yeah,
at under 21s and under 18s, they're playing perfectly Eric Ten Hag style football at the moment, right? But I just want to finish what I said, and this is going in correlation to what Solskjaer was saying in that interview and what's currently going on, right? So if there's layers of veto approvals, if you're working in this restaurant and you're the head chef and you can't fucking get your creme brulee or whatever you call it, filet mignon, to be the perfect because they're failing you.
yeah.
You're not getting the ingredients that you requested. Yeah. Because they're thinking, oh, we get the cheap stuff. Right. So how are you going to cook a perfect storm? And that's what I'm trying to say. And this is kind of similar what I can apply to what Ten Hag is doing at the moment. Right?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, but again, it comes down to adaptation. You adapt, you change, you go,
But how
okay,
how
I
can you
can't do
adapt?
it.
But then how can you adapt when the club is fucked you over in the January window by loaning up all your spare parts?
It still comes
Right?
back to what I said, though, Mick. When Eric Ten Hag got offered the job at Man United, he knew the roster of players, what he had to work with.
Yeah, but they
You're
lied to
making
him as well.
excuses for the man
I'm
who
not
knew
making
what he was
excuses.
walking
I'm
into.
going what ten. I'm
He knew
going
what he
also.
was walking into.
Look, go back to the interview what Ole said as well. When I accepted this job, there's certain terms that you agree on, and you can say the manager, the establishment lied
Yeah,
to me. Yeah. So the same thing,
well, of
they've been
course,
lying
yeah.
to each manager. So what happens is the first year they say, okay, 10, you will have everything that you want. Second year comes around, what happens to every single fucking manager in the club? They fuck them over, right?
Same thing. Same
And then
thing.
they get players that you didn't request because you already made your planning to make your fucking perfect
Yeah,
five-star
of
course
course,
meal,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then all
And
of a sudden you have to change your playing style because they get your Ronaldo, they get your Cavani that you didn't want to, they get your Mason Mount that you never requested for, right? So it goes back to he had a plan. Okay, I'm getting Onana because I want to play sweeper keeper, I want to play high
yeah,
line. I'm getting certain players, right? What happened in this summer? They didn't fucking have any money. They had to go on Sophie Amrabat to actually finesse a loan deal, right? And come December, right? Did he get any backing? Me and Mark, we did like in a press conference
oh
interesting
yeah, I
when he
get what you're
asked the
saying.
question and said, yes, I want players on the loan, but there is no money for FFP, right? So what happened?
You,
What happened?
you know what
What
though, Mick?
happened? What happened? What happened? Sorry, Pete. What happened is
Yeah,
they loaned all the kids out. They sold everything, banking on the Leacher will come back, that
yeah, he hasn't.
Luke
Uh,
Shaw will be fit, Casemiro. Okay, what happened? We are holiday. We're skating on thin ice. We have no fucking players because the inept of the people of above Ten Hag sold off the kids, loaned out all your spare
yeah,
parts to other clubs, and you're now expecting for him to make top four with little. I mean, I'm just saying you got to look at the whole 360
Well, of
degree.
course, Mick, I get what you're saying, but it's like this. So, if Eric Ten Hag can sit down and go to himself, look, I haven't been given the players I wanted. Fair enough. The players I've got, I can't really do what I want to do. If that was me in that position, you know what I'd do? I'd sit down, go to the head on show and go, I can't work under these conditions. I'm resigning from the job. Have a nice day. There's also that option of Eric Ten Hag going, I can't work under what you're trying to give me to do.
Yeah, but now
He won't
now
resign because he wants
now
paying off.
it's a relief for him when you actually had the takeover with INEOS coming in. Now we have a proper fucking structure, and that is what I'm looking at, right? Because if you go back before he accepted the job, he was used to working under that kind of structure under Overmars, having
Well, of course, yeah.
proper operations. United haven't had that proper operations, and that's why we are so far behind. Everyone has been catching up. Brighton, Fulham. You go back and
Excuse me.
you go back to what the final moment of that interview, what Ole was saying. And he said basically every team has now invested in an infrastructure, right?
Yeah, of
So
course.
every team is competitive. The league is not like they used to be in the old days when I
No.
used to manage. So we've been stuck in cement for 10 years.
There's a few things, Mick. Like I was saying to Mark and Kenny before you came on. Yeah. One is, will Eric Ten Hag be able to work under the structure of INEOS?
I
Yeah.
believe so.
But I said, like, one of my analogies was you could sell Marcus Rashford, say he's worth 80 million, and he's on £350,000 a week wages. We could sell him to PSG with that 80 million, buy 4 players for 20 million and pay them £50,000 a week. You still save £150,000 and you've gained 4 players.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now these
I,
4 players mightn't be ballers.
to answer
Okay.
your question,
The
to
point
answer,
is, can Eric Ten Hag work under the regime? Is we're going to get players. What you got to understand is this: is how INEOS want to play the game.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe Eric Ten Hag doesn't fit into their plan. How they want to play the game.
But I think they already had a discussion behind closed doors, to be honest. And to answer your question, I want to address every one of you, because tell me any job where you been the only one managing. I mean, it's all about doing what you're supposed to do, just managing the
Yeah,
team, right? So
results.
there's no other Premier League club in the Prem that has what Ten Hag has, or what Sir Alex Ferguson used to have. He's basically in charge of everything. So instead
Yeah,
of optimizing, and that's what he said in 2 weeks ago in a press conference, that everyone needs to be on the same page. Let me just do my job, and you guys
that's it.
take care
Yeah,
of the rest. So if you're telling me, Omar Barada, this is the way we're gonna play. If you, Dan Ashford, saying this is the player that we need, of course he's going to succeed, because that takes away a lot of pressure, because he's been dealt with every fucking scandals, the press conference, the raping allegations and all that stuff, and takeover, right? If you
yeah.
take all that burden, which is 50% of his current job description, take that away and you give him 100% full optimization, what Brailsford is all about. Of course he can, because he's done it before in
Yeah, but
Ajax.
what you got to factor in, Mick, is the players they get. Do they want to play, or does Eric Ten Hag want them that style of player?
Well,
Yeah,
that's up to
like
that's
Ollie alluded to,
they will be
with
gone.
that Ronaldo being forced on him.
They'll
I
be
didn't
gone.
really want Ronaldo, but
Neither did I.
I got put with him.
But
We got put with me. That's it. This is the scenario Eric Ten Hag
but
could be in. Is
yeah, no,
this
but
is the player you're
that's
going
the
to work
scenario
with?
will stop, Peter. That is the old scenario where
It's
every
not.
manager's been overruled, right?
That's
It
the
ain't gonna happen.
scenario
It
he's
ain't
going
gonna
to work
happen in a
under.
professional environment where you have professional football operation people above you, and you included in this conversation, right? You have a certain percent veto which say, "I want this player." So the sporting director is there to question, why do you want to sign this player for 100 million when you can look at this, and that according to a scouting report? So it's
Yeah,
a
exactly.
yeah. So it is a teamwork at the end of the day what you decide for. You look at the persona profile, you look at the mental profile, you look at the price tag, and they will not overpay anymore, because all of a sudden you have people working with you. If you go back in in the current establishment, you have people that don't fucking understand shit what they're doing and overpaying for players. Yeah. So that is the big difference. What's going to happen.
Yeah,
So
of
yes,
course.
to answer your question, will he work well in the structure? 100% yes. Any manager will do, because every person needs support. You can just correlate to in your
Well, of
working
course, yeah.
environment. You need a
But the
professional
thing
team.
is, Mick, yeah,
Mm,
right. The thing is, what you got to understand is, yeah, every manager, doesn't matter who you are, De Zerbi, Potter, whatever, every manager puts their own stamp on the team. Yeah. Have you ever considered this? Maybe Eric Ten Hag is just not good enough in the Premiership.
I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
he
Maybe
might.
he's just not good enough.
I mean, we
I don't
can't
believe
say
it,
he
And
because
you
not.
I
can
He
saw
put
not.
I
him
saw the
in.
first
You
season.
can put him in any structure. If you're not good enough, you're not good enough.
But
I
Peter,
I just see two sides. Last season and this season, two different nuances. Last season, it was amazing football in certain way. We went like on a winning run. The confidence was there. The fan base was all positive, singing Ten Hag's, praising his name, and all of a sudden you go from hero to a zero. What happened, right? So what happened in between is what I'm focusing at, right? And this is what I've been speaking about. This the lack of
Of course,
support,
yeah.
the injuries, the medical department. I don't need to mention all this because you guys know it, right?
Of course, yeah, we know.
And the
We know.
takeover.
guys, thank you so much for
Yeah, it's
this
been
this
great.
morning. And
Oh,
I just wanted to, go because I have to go. Actually, I have to go to class in a little bit. So, guys,
okay.
thanks so much. I have a stream again at 10 p.m. UK time tonight, guys. So I don't know if you might be available. If you guys are, come through. We'll continue the
Yeah.
discussion. I just feel like after hearing everything all you both have said, even what Sachev said, I feel like it makes me feel like, listen, we need to take a step back as fans, because yes, we could sit
Yeah.
down and say, it's not been great this season, but at the same time, when you look at the background, if we could fix everything in the background, I think it will be a propulsion for a change and improve what we have right now. I think if we get another coach, it's going to set us back, because it's going to mean that he now has to do what you don't want, Alien, which is assess the team based on the profiles of players we already have, see who he wants, which will take another season, and
Yeah.
then start getting them out. That means we won't get rid of the players who are bad
In
in
one
this
season,
summer window,
in this
which for
summer.
me is a negative, no
We're
matter
not
which
going to do
manager
that
come in.
anyway. We're not.
I,
This is going to take at least 3 to 4 windows to get rid of the dead wood.
well, I
This
mean,
is
at
why
least,
I've been saying to people, we're not going to do anything for 3 seasons.
I
People
mean,
need to understand that
that's
while
only
it's
if
getting
we
We'll
get a new
see.
rebuilt.
manager, Tenno. Because if we don't get a new manager, then let's say we get rid of 4 players in this window. That's 4 players out and 4 new players that come in that fit the profile of an expansive attacking
Just
team.
This is it.
So,
just a
so the
final point, though. Just a
yeah,
final point from my
big
end.
up, Mick.
The manager's got 1 year left on his contract. All I'm saying is I'm not Ten Hag in and I'm not Ten Hag out. I'm in doubt. I've been in doubt for a certain reason. The reason per se is because I have high standards, right? I want the club to succeed. I want him to succeed. I want this team to finish in a strong position. The only reason why I'm saying is because we are never given a manager a full tenure, 3 years contract to see it out. So what I want to see is, okay, prove it what you got with this right structure. If you now getting like a sporting director, head of recruitment, and people
Yeah.
to work with you, maybe you will be different. If that doesn't work, then you start with that fresh page. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you now sack Ten Hag, that means that you're throwing out 2 years of build and process and start over again, and that means
Exactly.
an additional 2 years adding on to what INEOS has to plan for. People are not
True.
thinking that way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the thing is, Mick, it's like I said to Mark and Kenny before, yeah. You look at Barca, Real Madrid, Bayern, PSG, they're a ground of managers, yeah. Why is them teams constantly successful? Because they have a structure. It doesn't matter which manager comes in, they adhere to their structure. So basically, their rule of thumb is this: we'll bring a manager in, burn him out for 2, 3 seasons, don't replace him with a new one. Here's the structure you're going to work with. This is the game plan. This is why they're always there at the top,
Yeah, but
because
it's
they've
not
got
two,
the
three
structure
seasons
right.
thing at any
So
other
when they
club.
know the manager is starting to wane, They go refresh him.
Yeah, but then you
Eric
can
Ten
take.
Hag is now falling into that part of
Let's
every three seasons you'd
take
renew the manager.
Bayern
Barcelona
Munich.
don't redo their manager every 3 seasons, Tenno.
Yeah, but you know what I
No,
mean.
no, but
You know what I'm saying.
what you're saying here is a perfect example of what Bayern does, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Bayern has years and years of already established structure,
That's
right?
what I'm
They
saying,
have,
yeah.
right? So they bring in managers. If you're not successful, the performance manager, you go out the door because they have standards. We want to win
Yeah.
the Bundesliga. We want to win, Champions League, X, Y, Z. All right. So they sacked what's his name, Tuchel,
Mm-hmm.
just to relieve pressure on him. And look how is he playing now, right?
Yeah.
But they're
But
ruthless.
that's what I'm saying, yeah. It's Tuchel a bad manager when he's won the Champions League with Chelsea.
Yeah, but Chelsea used to have that as well
Because
until
he's not
Todd
been
Bowley.
successful at Bayern. Does
Until
that make him a bad manager?
No, wait a minute. Chelsea had that perfect recipe until Todd Bowley came in and threw a hand grenade in and just totally fucked it up. He sacked Marina, which was the best negotiator on the market. He sacked everyone and thought, I can do it myself. He went all in, bought a whole new squad in one
Yeah, of
season.
course. Yeah.
Right? So,
Barley
and
thought
that
he
is
was playing
backfiring. That is
PS5.
backfiring. They reported losses, by the way, the Clearwater Capital. So all I'm saying is that United has cleared the FFP, right?
No.
They cleared the FFP. Let's see what happens in the summer. Come what may, I don't believe any word what comes out from the
No.
gravy train media at the moment because they have nothing else to write about. If you look at Manchester United on one football app, all you can see is about Ten Hag suck and who we are linked to. For fuck's sake, Graham Potter. For fuck's sake, Southgate. Where is his names coming from, right?
Mm-hmm.
So put two and two together that they have nothing else to write about. So they are actually putting pressure.
Look,
Right?
yeah.
And this gravy train going to continue.
With Man United, we're always big news.
Big news. The
Big
top
news.
news.
Everyone
great
makes a
news.
living out of Man United, don't they?
But tell me, Peter, there is not one single day in the papers that you don't read any scandals by United that's been fabricated or made up. And that is why Ten
Well, of
Hag
course, yeah.
fucking banned Samuel Lockhurst, the ESPN Mark. What's his name? Rob Dawson.
Rob Dawson, yeah.
Rob Dawson is the one that's writing a lot
Mark
of this
Ogden.
shit about replacement of managers. So you can put two and two together. So who's been banned and who is creating the most of the noise? But where is Fabrizio Romano reporting on? Where is the heavyweights, Ornstein, etc.? Nobody's selling anything.
No.
100%.
So they don't know, do they? They don't know because Sir Jim's not going to go blabbing his business to anyone, is he? He's a businessman. As soon as you start putting out in the wild what you're going to do, people will go, okay, so that means you want this type of player. Okay, there's 20 million on top.
But then it's a double-edged sword. Why is not INEOS putting a stop to these PR leaks, right? To go out and say, we'll back the manager. No, maybe they're doing it because they want to put pressure on the manager to win. But is it the right way to do it?
No.
Who knows? Who knows, guys?
I don't know. I mean, the question is for Ten Hag, guys, is this. I don't think we're going to get top four. Whether we can get Champions League through top five, you don't know. So I suppose,
I'm going to do a podcast later on and the road to top four.
Yeah, I mean, if Man City can win the Champions League again, maybe, we'll get top five place. Yeah.
Okay, guys. Before we finish this is your show.
What I'm saying is this quick. If we don't get Champions League, is the Europa League enough for INEOS to say, we'll keep
it is.
Ten Hag?
That's money in the bank. That's
what I'm saying. Although it's not as much. But don't forget, it's been restructured for next season, the Europa League. So
let me tell you one thing.
Money coming in.
Let me tell you one thing. Do your research. And this is my podcast for later on. Check Spurs fixtures. Check Aston Villa's pictures and compare to United. And you will see the roadmap clear. Right?
Mm-hmm. The next 5 games, Aston Villa has to play everybody above them back to back in 3 game weeks.
Yeah.
The same thing for Tottenham Hotspurs. And this, guys, is where there's a pathway. And the only way Eric Ten Hag, I see, for me, he has some credit in the bank from last season But I feel like this is his pathway to getting himself solidified, backed for the summer, and getting United back in a
but
simple situation for top four.
but
But we
that
also need that consistency, though, don't we?
exactly, and that means that players needs to be laser sharp.
Laser sharp.
Everyone needs to be on board. Is this what you want? Do you want to finish in Champions League, or you want to just down tool, right? So,
Yeah.
having to said that, you look at the injury rosters and who's coming back, right? Højlund seems to be back fit for Everton. Would you play him against Everton?
No.
No. Everton, we should scrape by, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we have an international break, right? You will have Licha coming back. Mason Mount looks like he's kind of coming back as well.
Malacia is back.
Malacia.
He's in
Malacia.
training.
Right? So all of a sudden we will have a full squad to finish strong at the rest of the season. While Liverpool is feeling the pain of their injury strains, everyone is kind of now feeling what we've been feeling. So that is the potential part, but it's all down to what he's saying. Cup games. Every game is a cup game final, right? And the players need to be switched on. Now, Everton, we should beat at home on Saturday. We should.
Should do.
That would be the 5th cup double. That would be the 6th league double we do this season. You know? The 6th team we beat 2 games in a row. Hopefully we get it done.
But
guys, sorry, but I really have to go. I have to go get ready to go to
no
class.
worries.
Guys, thank you for being here,
anyway.
Alien. So much, Pasha. Thank you for coming on. It was your first time on my channel. Big up to you, my brother.
Can he talk? I haven't heard him.
Kenny, close the show for us, bro. You heard a lot of talk. You heard a lot of stuff. You haven't said much now. Let's go home, bro.
Yeah, lad. See you guys later. Thank you for...
See you, mate.
Big up, Mick. Thank you for coming in. Big up to you.
Cheers.
Kenny, last words.
Cheers, last words. Last words. I have just 3 words for you. Trust the process.
Trust the process.
Trust the process.
And we'll go with that, guys. We'll go with that one. Trust the process. Boys. Let's see how it goes. We got a big game this weekend against Everton at home. We'll see you guys later on. We will be there. Tenno, you will be there. I'll be there. Mick, I'll be there. We will be here for the presser. There's the presser today, Mick. We have to check.
No, tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. We
tomorrow.
Will be there, Mick.
For home games, it's Fridays.
Cool.
Away games, Thursdays.
All right,
so we'll be
guys.
there tomorrow, my friend.
Well, MUFC Realist TV, 1:45 UK time. Be there, guys.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.